Live.
Are we?
Yes.
How sure are you?
All right.
Are we? Do you think people actually watch this on YouTube?
Actually, we just got a subscriber.
Who was it? Do we know
Her
them?
name is her name is Maria Costa. I don't know her or Brenda Costa. I don't know. I don't know her.
That's super amazing, actually.
I know.
I think
So shout out
we
to
have a new person who doesn't listen to us. Maybe they're watching us, not
I
listening to
think
us right now.
I think the first YouTube person who does not listen to us. So thank you, Miss Costa, for not listening to us.
Yeah, yeah, Miss Costa. If I'm allowed to call you that, thank you for listening, not listening to us. I guess that's fucking awesome. I'll tell you, Tony, we're international,
Oh yes, we are. We
and
have
not just because she's
listeners.
a vaguely ethnic name.
We we have non-listeners in Japan, Ireland, United Kingdom, Germany. The list goes on.
Canada, end of list.
Yeah. Middle New Jersey. It's great.
We have like 6 listeners in Ohio who listened to our first season, kind of, because I sent it to them.
And I think on such a momentous occasion, because we have just recently learned about our international status, um, this episode, I am going to be directly addressing a lot of the people who do not listen to us to talk about some of my previous behavior on this audio medium from our first season. But first, I'm Tony,
I'm Brendan,
and this is Double Act.
and welcome to the people who don't listen to us. Tony, why don't you jump right on into that
I will.
apology?
I have to make manifest the most sincere apology for a lot of the more insensitive comments that I have made on previous episodes. I don't know how to say it other than I just, in the past several years, I guess the past 2 years, have, as I say, gotten my head out of my own ass, I suppose. Um, and, I just made some comments that were kind of not outrightly misogynistic, but definitely just maybe may have not made this a safe audio space for female listeners, or even though I identify as a queer person myself, even making, side jabs that might not be quite funny to other queer people. And, I just wanted to be transparent and say that I'm sorry for that. So, and moving forward, it's, going to be good, clean fun from here on out.
I don't promise anything. Okay, 2 things on that subject. Dave Chappelle, I was watching something with Dave Chappelle, and someone asked him about a joke that like some people found offensive. He goes, "I will never apologize for a joke, but I will say maybe I shouldn't have said some of that shit." Um,
Okay.
which is I think true, and also that the guy who raised BoJack Horseman, for God's sake, I can't remember his name right now, but he was on Fresh Air, which is an NPR show you should all be listening to anyway.
Yeah.
But he was talking, the host, and he was talking about how that show, it had some offensive jokes, and even like from 3 seasons, over 3 seasons, however many seasons, he looks back and goes, like, oh, some of those jokes, like I, I said them a different way. When I said them, they were like, oh, this is funny because of reason A. But people were going like, oh, that's funny because it's racist. No, I was pointing out how shitty this character is because he's racist. Or
Right.
how dumb this character is because he's sexist. But then, you can't control an audience. So then some people in the audience are like, oh, ha ha ha, he's being, that's something I agree with.
Right.
You know? So we don't ever set out to offend anyone or anything. And I'm not
Yeah.
going to sit here and apologize for everything we said because you know what? We, we do it with a smirk and a smile. I don't know. Like, perfect example. My insinuating that me and you have a homo romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people actually out there who are romantic. I'm not one of them. Tony's kind of like a halfie.
A
So
halfie.
yeah, you're a halfie. I think you're biromantic homosexual.
Oh, is that it?
I think that's what you are.
That's a little too complicated for me.
Free. No, you keep it simple.
Yeah, I
Dicks
like
and
to
that's
keep.
it.
Well, I don't know.
Whatever. Everything's
Yeah.
fluid. Get over yourself.
Okay. Ouch. That was a little douchey.
That's my whole bit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I can I am gonna apologize, and I did, and I stand by that. But
Yeah, you have every right to.
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
More importantly, I need to talk about the day I had today.
Oh, do you?
I do, because I went to the New York State Wool and Sheep Festival in Rhinebeck, New York, and it was so much fun.
You know what the worst part about that festival is?
Tell me, Brendan.
The erotic section.
Oh, I love a person who recycles jokes.
I know. I was gonna say that's a callback. Because fucking 2 years ago you went to the thing, and we talked about it on this podcast.
I did.
That's now like our most talked about subject.
Event. I know. I feel like we should have listeners who attend.
Yeah, I think we'll have a booth next year. We're gonna give a talk, so you guys should all come out and see us next year when we're at what's it called?
The New York State Wool and Sheep Festival.
Oh my god, it's gonna be exciting, guys.
Absolutely.
How could it not be with a title like that?
Bring your knitting needles.
And stab me in the eyes.
No, it really is so fun. And do you want to know why?
Yes, tell me why it's fun.
It is it really is kind of like a harvest festival in a way, where there's like all sorts of different things going on. When I say this to people, like they're kind of like, what are you gonna go do? Look at sheep? And you do, but there's also people who are vending, yarns and fibers.
There's nothing wrong with just looking at sheep.
Of course.
That's like all people in Scotland do. Well, that and heroin.
That's terrible.
Stabbing other people. I guess it's more diverse.
Craig Ferguson's gonna come for you. Anyway.
Craig Ferguson can come for me. I want that to be stated.
So, but the sheep are really, because when it comes down to it, this whole festival is about supporting small scale agriculture.
See, I can get behind that.
Right? These people are
they get behind their sheep.
These people are really laboring very intensely, and for some of these people, it's a full family affair. There was a whole group of kids who were siblings, probably around between the ages of like 11 and 14, who are just wrangling goats. Like, I don't know. I grew up in the suburbs of Massachusetts. I don't know how to wrangle a fucking goat. And I'm just saying, I thought that was kind of cool. So, I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, that's fucking really weird. These wrangling fucking goats in the middle of New York. Okay, yeah. I mean, in fairness, those small family farms have been under attack lately in a bunch of ways, and you could blame tariffs or corporations or anything, but realize it's much more about society as a whole and the fact that we like cheap shit.
Yes, it's true.
Don't value products as probably as we should.
Yeah.
But such as the modern world. But yeah, I mean, small family farms, man, they've been going under. Tariffs for one thing, the administration has put on. They gave them some tax breaks, but that's not going to cover them next year.
Yeah.
So that's why, guys, I just want to put this out here. Get out and fucking vote in the midterms.
I agree.
Side note, very important. We don't talk about that enough, Tony. Go out and fucking vote. I don't care which way you vote. Go vote for a Republican dumbass. I don't give a shit. Get out and vote.
Yeah, I think one of the most exciting things coming up for me is I registered to vote, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Because, I really was going to kind of let it fall by the wayside. But I think a lot of us, especially our generation, are learning from, I can't say like our past mistakes, but definitely like we're learning from the past of the Trump election, So I'm really excited actually to vote on the questions at hand in Massachusetts, because they're pretty profound, I feel. We're covering things like, safe patient limits for nurses in hospitals, trans rights, all sorts of stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, man. And to all the people who listen to us in apparently Ohio and around New Jersey
I'm
and
sorry,
maybe even in Brooklyn.
Brendan, the people who do not listen to
Oh,
us.
I'm sorry, right. I'm sorry. The people who do not listen to us in Ohio and New Jersey and Massachusetts and possibly Brooklyn, you should 100% go out, research about, get involved, learn who's running, learn who you want to vote for.
Absolutely.
You know, or fuck it, step into a ballot box blind. I don't give a shit. Get out and vote.
And I do want to say this because one of the things, and you, Brendan, gave me words to put to this. I believe you said what I've been feeling is called voter disenfranchisement. Is that true?
You've been feeling voter disenfranchisement, which is a common problem on the youth. And that's basically the idea that your vote doesn't matter, your
Right.
voice doesn't matter in an election. But I tell you one thing, Hillary Clinton lost the last election by, well, no, I'm sorry, she won the last election in the popular vote by 3 million votes.
Yes.
But geography matters.
Yes.
So all those kids who went, oh man, my vote doesn't matter in Wisconsin, or my vote doesn't matter in Pennsylvania, or my vote doesn't matter here, are the reasons Trump's in office.
Yes, that's true.
Because you don't have to. No one wins because people decided that getting out to the ballot box wasn't important.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you're pissed off, if you're looking around and you're going, oh, I don't like that, or I don't like this, and you go, then vote.
Yep.
But everyone sits there and goes, oh man, it doesn't affect me. Well,
Yeah.
it fucking does. I was that's kind of different, but I was looking to buy a piece of woodworking equipment recently, and I noticed the price went up. And I looked, and you hit, there was an information button, and it went up because of tariffs. So that was an actual thing I was trying to buy. It had a 20% tariff, and this reason it went up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So a $400 thing or a $500 thing became a $600 thing. Which, if you have a small business, or if you're a normal guy, like, that's a lot of money. $100 is a lot of fucking money.
Right.
I mean, besides all the other things, besides, the people currently in charge are sexist and racist and scumbags since the beginning, and claim to be self-made, even though they got all their money from their dad through fucking illegal tax schemes. But whatever. Besides all of that, we're not bringing that up. Policy matters, and policy affects you more than you realize.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing on Obamacare. So all these kids are like, oh man, like, that's some bullshit. It's like, yeah, but you get to stay on your parents' plan till you're 26, which is way better than the plan you're going to get at whatever fucking shitty job you're going to work when you're 22.
Yes.
And you're going to, in pre-existing conditions. So the fact that your aunt had cancer or diabetes or something else won't keep her off insurance.
Right.
Meanwhile, which is something that the whole thing's being attacked. Okay. But I think we're done talking about politics, because, Tony, I have something else I want to bring up.
Okay. What's that?
I want Kanye West on our podcast.
Dude, you mentioned this. I think talking since last episode, you told me about this. It's never going to happen, Brendan.
Shut up, Tony, this podcast is about living a dream, and that dream is that Kanye West is going to be on it.
I don't want to talk to him.
Why not?
Okay, except maybe I do want to talk to him about what it was like to collaborate with both Rihanna and Elton John when he made All the Lights.
Yeah. Or how about what it was like becoming a self-made man out of Chicago, producing, getting a Jay-Z record, releasing your own record, releasing some of the greatest songs ever made, and then going,
full force into the fucking tubes?
No, I wasn't going to say that because I wanted to be on this podcast. I was going to say, maybe going away that society was not expecting to go and going against the grain.
Right.
I'd be really curious to talk to him about that. I'll say right now, hey, Kanye West, if you end up hearing this, which I'm sending it to your Twitter, so I hope you do. You 100% should be on our show, and we will give you 45 minutes to talk, and then we'll talk to you.
I love it. We will give you 45 minutes to talk.
You can talk on our podcast for 45 minutes, and we will not say a goddamn thing until that 45 minutes is up, and then we will say, like, hey, Kanye, what's up? Tony, I need you to back me on this. I need you to 100% back me on this.
If you can get anyone on our podcast that's, not someone we know, be my guest. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Kanye West, you heard it here, man. 2 out of 2 podcast hosts want you on our podcast.
What is the real reason you want him on here for? Is it because of his recent foray into this whole, Trump worship?
Yeah, that's some of it.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about that.
You really do care, though, about his musical career.
Huh? Yeah, he was really talented. He was crazy. I don't want to say crazy. Eccentric, because he was really successful, so he's not crazy.
Oh, okay.
But, no, I mean, he was really talented. As a producer, he was great. As a rapper, he was great. No,
it's true. He makes good music.
Oh, he does. He really does. So, I mean, I think Kanye would be down. I think Kanye is into exploring new media with us, and I think he'd be on our podcast.
All right, then. Well,
you hear it for first, guys. All the people who don't listen to us, hit up Kanye West if any of you know him. If any of you are from like Chicago, knew him in the day, or in the White House. Anyone who's listening, anyone who knows Kanye West, or I'm going to send this to him on Twitter. So, yeah, Kanye West is going to be on our podcast unofficially.
Speak it and it shall happen.
Yeah, right? I'm living the dream here. I'm putting it out in the universe. It's going to come back to me.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
So, the one thing I do think about Kanye is that I do think he's unfortunately a victim of a society that does not know how to handle mental health struggles.
Go on.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not a doctor. I'm not his doctor.
You don't even play one on TV.
I don't even play one in my head. I don't even, anyway.
In the bedroom, maybe, but that's about
it. But I really think that people have come out and talked about, maybe he is a little bit mentally unstable. And I just don't think that the world kind of knows how to handle people who have mental illnesses, and especially when they're on such a big platform, like being a, multi-million or billion-dollar music artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm always like really wary of fucking claiming people have mental illness, because at the end of the day, he lived a life that, I have no idea about
dead.
At all. No, I know, but even up to now, he's still living a life, but up to what he's lived now, I have no idea what that man's been through. I don't know what he reads, what he gets his knowledge based off. And really, that's Kanye West. That's why you should be on our show. Let us help you tell your side of the story.
Okay.
Kanye, listen to me. Man, I don't know what it was like to grow up in Chicago. I don't know what it's like to work with Jay-Z or any of that. I don't know what it's like to be in the White House. I don't own a MAGA hat. Come on, explain what all that's like, man. I don't understand it at all. I'm real curious. This is a podcast about opening doors to new connections. Get on out of here. Totally is. Kanye, I 100% you need to be on this podcast, man. We'll get your story out there.
I think we need a producer.
A producer? Like Kanye West? Kanye West is a fantastic producer.
Good. Well, yeah. Okay. So you have me sold on it then. We'll do it.
Tony, I need you to invite Kanye West to our podcast.
Brendan, I don't have that power.
You do. Say, Tony, just say it right now. Say, Kanye West, please come on our podcast.
Kanye West, please come on our podcast. And bring Kim.
Okay, maybe.
I just think that'd be a nice touch.
I honestly don't think we get Kim Kardashian to be on our podcast.
Oh, but you think we can get Kanye?
Yeah, I think Kanye understands.
Right.
100%.
Okay. Anyway, I got my nose pierced today.
Did you?
I did.
So is that it? You got a story or?
What do you mean? Did you? I sent you a photo of it.
I know, but I mean, like, just dropping that knowledge. Am I supposed to comment on that random fact?
Yeah, it was really nice. We went to Lucky's Tattoo and Piercing, I think it's called, in Northampton, Massachusetts.
Oh, fancy.
Zach pierced us. It was really nice.
Is that cute?
Zach was actually very cute.
Yeah, he works in a tattoo shop, so
Yeah. What is
I don't know. I don't know that's a rule, but every time I picture a tattoo shop, it's never someone. It's either some dude named like
Big
something
Mike?
that ends in E, yeah, Big Mike, something like that, Rusty or some shit, and it's some
Yeah.
really like skeevy shit, or it's just like these fucking people who like drink IPAs. And
You
eat,
drink
like,
IPAs.
I don't frequently drink IPAs.
Okay.
I'm not like an IPA person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that whole fucking culture. People are
I
like, yeah, it's so hoppy. Yeah. Yeah, fuck that.
No, you like a working man's beer that just tastes like warm piss.
Tony, it symbolizes what the fucking corporations do to us every day. What that's piece of
Speaking of beer and um I was talking to Jen and Julia today, friends of the show.
friends of the show, Jen and Julia.
And I should say Jenny and Lou is really how they prefer to be addressed.
Okay.
And I was telling them how, you know, I love the idea of getting symbolic tattoos for friends. And I would love to get a symbolic tattoo in honor of you, Brendan. But to be honest, the only symbol I could think of is a can of Narragansett beer. And it's nothing against them, but I just don't want that tattooed on my body.
I'm really insulted. For one, fucking, that's an awesome tattoo to represent me. How dare you not get that on your body? But also, I hate that you think I'm that shallow.
What do you mean?
Oh, the only thing I get to represent Brendan is a can of beer.
But it's okay. No,
I
listen.
also drink whiskey. Fucking give me a G&T sometimes if I'm feeling sporty. You know, man? Like, don't put me in a box, is all I'm saying.
All right, fine. You're right. I apologize for that. But I think this whole, practice of marking up our bodies is a really fascinating thing, don't you think? Because
I don't have any tattoos. I don't understand that world in the way that I think you probably do.
You really have none?
No, I don't have a single tattoo.
No, that's true, because if you did, you would have shown me by now.
Yeah, probably.
Do you even want any?
No, I used to always say that I want my name and like social security number tattooed under my armpit on my left side, so if I wash up anywhere, they know who I am.
Yes.
But besides that, no.
Is it because of the Catholic guilt?
Everything's because of the Catholic guilt.
Okay.
But I mean, some of it, like my dad told me I should never get a tattoo. But more of it's like, I don't know. I don't know what I get tattooed on me.
No, it's just I can appreciate that, and I think that's why honestly I stuck to a lot of flowers, because like it's a whole broad category that I can just pick and choose from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get a band tattooed on me or a lyric tattooed on me, and then that lead singer is gonna get arrested because he joined Mandela or whatever.
We were actually talking about this because both Jenny, Lou, and I love Fall Out Boy, and
that's a horrible tattoo. It's a horrible tattoo already. Sugar, we're going down swinging on your left bicep is not a good idea.
I wasn't gonna do that. But,
what are you gonna get? What were you gonna get?
I don't know. We were just saying, wouldn't it be funny? Completely kidding. If we got Fall Out Boy lyrics tattooed on us. But then, Jen was saying, she was like, I get so hesitant about getting lyrics tattooed on me because then, like you just said, what if the band does something shitty? Like it just happened recently. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the band, but she was saying someone that she's been listening to for a very long time. The lead singer was accused of sending nudes to an underage girl, and
that was probably Sorority Noise, or it might have been Brand New. Actually, it's Jen, so it was probably Brand New.
I think it was Brand New.
They both did that.
And so she was like, she was talking about how it was really difficult because she is so adamantly against anything like that. But she loves this band and she's been listening to them for so long. But like all these other people are breaking their vinyls and like ripping up their t-shirts and like all this stuff.
Yeah. So I was talking about something similar to that once, and someone very close to me was like, "Oh, well, you got to learn to separate the art from the artist." And I just want to say, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
No, you go fuck no. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm just gonna continue listening to this guy I know, like, was arrested for, sending nudes to an underage girl, right?
Yeah.
Using his fame and somewhat authority in the scene to, be a predator,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And I'm gonna continue giving money to that. I'm gonna give money that's gonna continue to go to his legal defense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no.
give money that's gonna keep going to him even if he ends up in prison.
Right.
I'm gonna give money to his estate. I'm gonna give money to the guys who probably knew about it because they were in a band with him and lived in a van with that motherfucker. Who all of a sudden didn't know he was doing this? Yeah, no.
Right.
So, do I like? Yeah, and that comes up a lot recently because it's been in the news a lot, obviously, with the Me Too movement, and in the pop punk scene, and then somewhat in the punk scene too. It's been like a big deal, and in the emo scene, it's been like this happens a lot. You find out like these guys are skeevy,
Right.
and it's like, do you still support them? And the answer is like, obviously, fucking not. I was actually hanging out with Jen, and she introduced me to, I know it's pro. I know they.
Names?
No. They use the pronoun they.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was just I was hanging, and she introduced me to this they. I don't know what I'm supposed to say there. I'm sorry. If anyone would like to email me, yeah, I'm shit with that sometimes. So they were telling me about how they were going to like a hardcore show, and there was like this guy who like choked out his girlfriend to like submission. She fell asleep, went out, and he almost did CPR on her because she, he thought he killed her, and like he's still in a band. And like everyone kind of knows about it, but they're still in a band with him. And it's not like a famous band, really. It's not like it's not. But like they're just all everyone like looks at him and goes, yeah, no, that kid's still in that fucking band. And everyone knows about it. So don't go like, oh man, so and so is shitty, but no, that's one incident. Oh, that's one mistake. Oh, he was drunk. No, fuck that. Because two things I'll tell you, I've been drunk a lot of times in my life, and I always remember what consent was.
Yeah, honestly, I feel that.
And two, someone who does it, their friends know.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh yeah.
You if you're out with somebody and they're like sober and they're taking home a drunk girl, and they're not taking her back to her place to like drop her off to her roommates. Yeah, no, you fucking know.
Yeah.
So don't act like it's fucking a big surprise.
Do you think, because I have actually, from being around people who are sort of in, I don't know, like not like the punk scene just exclusively, but just like the culture of going to shows, like small music shows and stuff like that. And it sounds like a lot of things like this, like kind of occur. Do you feel that that's true?
You know what happens?
Tell me.
So most of okay, perfect example. Like the Front Bombs. Now the Front Bombs, to my knowledge, have not done anything wrong, and I love the Front Bombs. Those guys are 30 now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They started making music together in like 2007 or some shit, right? When they were like they probably, I forget when their first, like their self-titled came out or whatever. And they were making music before that, and they were popular, at least in the local scene. And even just being popular in a local scene, you can get a lot of attention,
Right, exactly.
So what happens is this guy, comes up, he's in the scene, he gets a band, and starts getting big, and now he's like 22 or 23 or 24, and like 16-year-old girls or 15-year-old girls still, they're like, oh my God, it's that guy.
Right.
But he's, he's in like the local scene. So they're like, oh, he's like a god, but he's also like doing landscaping when he's not playing with the band on tour.
Right.
So then these guys are like, they fucking are idiots and they are fucking predators. And they're like, oh yeah, well, she thinks I'm fucking great. This is amazing. You know, she thinks I'm this, she thinks I'm that. And they start like, they start abusing the fame they got.
Right.
Which fucking sucks, like you wish people would never fucking do that. But,
It is interesting, especially, and of course this is I have to kind of apologize to you because you're such a well-versed music person and I just don't understand a lot of like musical culture.
Yeah.
But Jen and I went to this show a couple years ago, and it was actually the only reason we went was because Metro Station was going to be there, playing a set of, I know, listen, I know, but we were so excited. It was so fun. But what it was this kind of like, there was like, I think 5 or 6 bands, and it was, I guess like emo pop
kind of
stuff,
post-hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. And I just remember this one guy who was performing, and I don't know how to explain it other than I felt like he knew that his fan base was like 16-year-old girls, And he was just like doing all these like cutesy things and like, making hearts and like, like telling the girls, like, oh my God, I love you and I'm here for you, and like being all cutesy and whatever. And like, I know there's an element of like you want to put on a show and you want to interact with your audience, but like I could not shake this feeling of like this guy is a little too into the fact that he has this like audience of teenage girls like fawning over him. I don't know. It was
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, man. Like, at what point is it too far?
Yeah.
Like, at what point is it like, oh, you want to put on a good show for the people who paid to see you? And at what point is it like, oh man, this is like amazing. It's what I always wanted. It's a fucking fleet of teenage girls being super into me.
Right. Which is all well and good, like, but it's just, yeah, like you said, boundaries. What is too far and what is enough?
Yeah, I feel like anytime you're texting them or actually actively going after them is too far.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel if like you're on stage and you're like, oh, you're great, whatever. That's cool. Like, because you know what? You probably made that person's night and nothing comes of it.
Yeah, I agree.
The second you're like, let me get your phone number. Oh, here's my actual Instagram. Here's my actual Facebook. Although they're 16-year-olds, they probably hate Facebook now.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. So here's my actual Instagram.
Yeah,
like that's that. I feel like that's the fucking line. The second the second it leaves the stage or it leaves the meet and greet.
Yep. Yep. Fuck yeah, I completely.
You gotta be nice. You like I think about that sometimes. Like, what do you do? And it's like you're just super polite.
Mm-hmm.
You don't fucking like Me and Jen went to see Tiger Jaw in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Tiger Jaw is a really good band, and their new albums are pretty good. But I really love their self-titled like original.
Yep.
It's fucking fantastic.
Is that the one with the pizza on the cover?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Because it's a fantastic album. I actually have it on vinyl. Because of course I do. But it was funny because it was in Brooklyn. I don't really hang out in Brooklyn, and it was this venue I've never been to.
Yeah.
And I like I passed the venue, and then I had to like turn around and find this parking spot. So I parked. And the lead singer is Ben Walsh.
Yes.
So I found a parking spot. When you're like in a fucking city and you have Google Maps on your phone and you're walking and like you can't get your bearings for shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and to paint the picture, it's Brooklyn neighborhood, but it's all right on top of each other with weird angle streets coming in, and then it has all the train lines over it in every direction.
Yeah. So
I can't even see the moon to tell where the fuck I'm going. So I'm like looking around and like I start going the wrong way. I'm like shit, and I turn and there's this guy locking up this like converted camper almost, or like this bus thing. And I go, holy fuck, that's Ben Walsh. That's the lead singer, Tiger Jaw. So he starts walking away, and I run up, like, hey man, sorry to bother you, but since you're in the band, I feel like you know where the venue is. And he goes, oh yeah, I can fucking show you, man, no worries. And he like shakes my hand. I'm Brendan, nice to meet you. I'm Ben, good to meet you. We're walking up. And he's like very nice. He goes, oh yeah, it's a really cool place, and we're just talking for like a minute, like a block. And he shows me the venue is, and like I'm like, oh, do you want me to peel off? Because there's a lot of people outside. And he goes, No, I gotta walk in the front door anyway. So me and him walk, and he like shakes my hand, leaves. Good seeing you, Brendan. All that deal, right?
Yeah.
Was one made everyone in line think I was super cool because I showed up with the lead singer, Tiger Jaw, which I fucking enjoyed.
Of
But
course.
also, um, like super, cool and nonchalant and like, yeah, like that's amazing. Although, you know, I'm a cis white guy. Like I Ben Welch seems like a really nice guy. And I'm not saying he isn't, but if that was brand new and I was a 16-year-old girl, that would have been a different story.
Good. Yeah,
That
I'm
would have been
sure.
a much different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm just picturing you as a 16-year-old girl. Um,
Longer hair, same body.
yeah. So, I have to say,
Yeah.
I'm making discoveries about my taste in music,
Oh God.
and and
Uh-oh.
you're gonna hate this.
Oh no. What's up?
I fucking love pop punk.
Okay, that's all right. You can love pop punk. What do you mean by you love pop punk?
I don't know because I have no idea what that means. But all I know is that like I love the sound of bands like Fall Out Boy and Paramore and stuff like that. And I always say like, what is this? Like, what do you categorize this as? And people usually say that's kind of like pop punk. You know,
Yeah, kind of.
and I just
Believe.
want to find more bands that are not necessarily like big name bands.
Yeah.
Who have that fun sound.
You're gonna kind of run into a problem being it's not 2004 anymore.
I know.
Um, yeah.
Also,
I'm sorry.
I love the Descendants so much.
Do you like the Descendants now? Tony, that's the coolest fucking thing you've ever said.
Brendan, I've liked them actually for a couple years. I just never came out about it because
Because you're
I
afraid people would shame you
yes.
for liking the Descendants.
Yes.
Or because you're afraid people are like, oh, you don't really like Descendants. You don't know enough about them.
That's literally Brendan, yes. Like everything you just said.
Yeah, no, can I just say, fuck anyone who does that, man. On some real shit. You can like a band and not know like fucking where everyone was born and their parents were born and what they were driving when they wrote the first fucking album. Dude, it
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. If you like a band, if you feel like I don't care if it's a sonic connection, an emotional connection, I don't care if it's fuck. If you like a band, like a band. Don't let other people tell you shit.
Hell yeah. And some
I
what
hold on, I
I've
have a can I give one more I have a story about this. One of my brother's friends. She was very nice, but she's telling me a story. They were in Philly, and there was this girl wearing an Iron Maiden T-shirt. And one thing I've learned in my life: don't fuck with girls in Iron Maiden T-shirts.
yes.
So this guy walks up to this girl, and he's like talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, well, you like Iron Maiden?" And he goes, "What do you think of this song? What do you think of this album? What do you think of this?" And she's like, "Dude, fuck off, dude, fuck off, dude, fuck off." And he was like trying to like say she wasn't a real Iron Maiden fan, and she just fucking rocked him in the face.
I
Fucking like
love
nearly
it.
broke his nose. Which one is the most Iron Maiden fan thing to fucking do?
Yes.
Better than answering any fucking question. Fucking, it would only been better if she just like fucking did that and then like yelled Maiden and ran out with a dude dressed like Eddie. Like that would be the only way that could have been better. But fucking yeah, man. Don't fucking tell people. Don't. Anytime you're shitting on someone's taste in music, you're being an asshole.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
being a fucking asshole.
That's true. I agree.
And I think we're all guilty of that. We're all shitty at some points in our lives. But like a perfect example, people who like Drake. People who don't like Drake love to shit on people who like Drake.
Yep.
Like, oh, you like Drake? Like, oh, he's what? Because he's on every radio station 100 times.
Yep.
Yeah, Drake's songs fucking slap. Okay, Drake's all right.
I mean,
He fucking can make music. Like, don't shit on someone because they don't like some fucking indie underground cut. Yo,
yeah.
if you like indie underground cuts, that's fucking awesome. Like indie underground cuts, but don't act like, oh, anyone else who does that doesn't actually like music.
Right. I agree. Um no, and I think I don't know. I don't know what to say to it. I think yes because I like music that maybe other people don't like. I just love pop music so much,
You're allowed to like pop music.
you know?
Pop
Um,
music is awesome.
but I think people also get confused when I say like, because I think when someone hears the word like pop music, I think a lot of people immediately refer to like what is just on the like a Kiss FM station or
Yeah.
something. And of course that is pop music, you know. But I also like there is such thing as like, you know, underground pop music.
Well, it's that weird thing where pop music technically means like what's popular, but
Right.
then it became its own genre.
Right.
Nana Grizzle just like dropped. Who, if you don't know who Nano Grizzle is, if you like the bands, Define Ohio, it has one of the guys in that, and then I think it technically has someone from Neutral Milk Hotel. I don't remember, but it doesn't have Jeff Magnum, which is the guy behind Neutral Milk Hotel. It's someone else. But they just put up on Bandcamp like fucking like a ton of songs, like 20 or 30 songs they recorded, between a couple years in their bedroom pop phase. And they are fucking dope. So I'm gonna link you that, Tony, later and let you check them out.
Yeah, please do. And also I think that's a good time to ask you, do you think we should start having like show notes pages and stuff like that?
Yeah, we might have to. I always say I'm gonna like, oh, I'll share this in the link or in the comments, and I fucking don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
I just think it'd be really nice to be able to share. I don't know, because we reference a lot of political things and a lot of like, you know, current event things. And like, if we find articles about them, I think it'd be nice to kind of put those up.
Yeah, man, I think it'd be dope.
Yeah.
So
One last thing on music, and then we can move on to whatever else you want to talk about. But I am actually really bummed because our friend Jen has an extra ticket to go see the Descendants, I think in Brooklyn. Um, and she fully invited me to just, you know, give me the ticket and, you know, tag along to go see this. And I don't think I'll be able to make it because it is this Friday
oof.
night. So it'd be like getting out of class, getting on a bus, like casting evil spells to make the bus fly, and then like crash landing in the middle of Bushwick. So
No, you'd be crashing. Yeah, like you'd be in Port Authority, like trying to fucking figure out the subways to Brooklyn.
it's actually not very hard.
Fun. That's all right. It just takes a while to get over there.
Yeah, it's definitely like the longer train ride. Anyway, sorry, that's boring. I don't want to talk about that.
That's fair.
But I will say there is work happening on the L train, and it's fucking up a lot of shit. So, but
it's a hot take from Worcestershire.
yeah, back in the back countries of Worcestershire.
Do hobbits live where you live?
Shut up.
Is that the right place?
I am a hobbit.
Yeah, except you're 6 foot fucking tall.
I'm a big one.
I'm a big one. Fucking hell.
Oh god damn it. I had a full I found, speaking of finding articles, I found a pretty fucking awesome article.
Mm-hmm.
And I bring it up to you to simultaneously kind of tell you to go fuck yourself, but also because I think you'd think this is cool.
Yeah.
So to the people who don't listen to us, as you probably know, if you've listened to any one of our previous episodes, Brendan likes to, in a loving way, make fun of the things that I like to study, such as art history, acupuncture,
Eastern medicine.
yeah. and you know, I mean, all right, you know, I can get down with it because sometimes in certain fields, you know, certain people of certain socioeconomic classes are not able to access this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, Brendan, I think it is a really big misconception that East Asian medicine is inaccessible to non-wealthy Caucasian people. And I found this article that kind of talks about this. Back in this is an article from The Atlantic, which I don't know how you feel about that.
I like The Atlantic.
Yeah. And it was
written East Coast liberal. Of course I like The Atlantic.
Of course. And it was written back in August. And it was a historical article about how back in the 70s, the Black Panther Party actually adopted acupuncture as a system for helping the people in the Black communities in, I want to say this was in Chicago, New York. I need to reread the article and I will post it. But it was talking about how where the mainstream medical systems at the time were looking at these people, these minority groups and saying, we supposedly, quote unquote, we can't help you. When really, they were refusing help, but there were these people who were practicing acupuncture who were fully on board with helping the members of their communities who were having addiction issues. And so it was this whole sort of recent historical recap on this really amazing part of American history where this activist group was trying to get help for their community and they were turning to alternative medicine because it was the only thing that would actually listen to them.
Dope.
Yeah.
No, that's actually really cool. It's funny if you actually read anything about the Black Panthers, you'll find out, they were like very much community. They get a bad rap. They really set out to help their community. I mean, am I saying everything the Black Panthers did was great? No, they definitely did some bad shit. But it's not a black and white story exclusively.
Literally.
Well, yeah, but do you know modern gun control becomes because of the Black Panthers?
Good. I hope it did.
No, not because the Black Panthers wanted gun control, because Ronald Reagan was a racist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck Reagan.
The Black Panthers had this whole deal where they would basically carry guns because they were legally allowed to, and they would watch the police on traffic stops and stuff.
Yeah.
And they got there was some heat exchanges and stuff. So they went, because this was in California. I think that was in Oakland. They were doing that. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to read into it again. But they eventually went and they did they were holding like a rally kind of in the state capitol, and Ronald Reagan was governor at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to do this whole deal where they basically marched into the state house with guns. They didn't do anything. They got marched in. It was a whole thing. But also, there was a group of like future leaders of America or some shit outside talking, and Ronald Reagan, the governor, was there talking to them, being nice to them. And like some of those kids ran over. They thought the Black Panthers were like some kind of hunting group or something, sportsman group, because they had all these fucking shotguns and shit. And Ronald Reagan was so fucking apparently peeved and pissed off and felt unsafe. So that's when they started passing like modern gun control.
Interesting.
In California.
That's honestly wild.
Yeah. So people who are against gun control say it has racist origins, and they are not wrong.
I mean, that's valid.
And the funny thing too, like knife laws.
Mm-hmm.
Like like in New York, you can't carry a knife that's you can't carry a knife that opens assistedly or can fall open through a gesture or da 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 da. It's actually fucking a lot of hardworking, honest people who have a knife for work. And they're like, oh, they bought a knife. It's a normal knife. They have to open and close it. But then after using it a bunch, it like wears out and breaks in. So that it can be flicked open. Well, that's illegal. If a knife can be opened by a jester in New York City, that's illegal.
Yeah.
So they'll get arrested on a weapons charge.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Some bullshit. And all those knife laws are the same thing. Because they didn't picture good WASP kids fucking carrying knives. No, they fucking pictured Spanish kids, Italian kids, Irish kids, recent immigrants kids carrying knives, doing all this youth crime that probably wasn't even actually fucking happening.
Right.
But that's what they blamed it on. They said all these kids carrying fucking knives and shit. And then, well, they just basically made it illegal for anyone to carry a knife, but really it was to make it illegal for recent immigrants and anyone who wasn't, Anglo-Saxon Protestants to carry knives.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit.
Where do you stand on gun control?
Well, something obviously needs to be done.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those people who's like, Okay, well, no gun should exist, and I'm not one of those people that thinks like everyone should own machine guns. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle
Hmm.
because I mean there are reasonable reasons to own a gun, but the idea that those reasonable reasons are should be held higher than the lives of kids who get shot up in schools
Right.
or people get die in inner city crime, and a lot of times people go inner city crime is dangerous, so they get their guns illegally. It's like yeah, but those guns don't just magically appear from the manufacturer to be sold illegally. They're bought legally somewhere else and sold. Now in
Right.
New Jersey, you have Camden. Camden's like always rates high as one of the worst places to be because the murder rate is like fucking crazy, super high. And New Jersey has really strict gun laws.
Hmm.
But what happens is Pennsylvania doesn't. And literally, there's a bridge that goes from Pennsylvania to Camden. So people go to Pennsylvania and buy a bunch of fucking illegal guns and then sell them in Camden and report them as stolen. So this idea that, oh, well, so and so state has tight gun laws. Like Chicago, Illinois has pretty tight. Chicago's area has pretty tight gun laws. So like, well, see, gun laws don't reduce crime. It was like, yeah, but if you can get guns other places that are an hour away, how does that reduce? Obviously that's not going to affect anything.
Right. 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 Right.
And that's actually a problem in Mexico too, because a lot of the Mexican drug cartels are funded through or armed with American guns that are smuggled over the border into Mexico.
Are you kidding?
No,
I
from
never knew
Texas.
that.
Yeah, from Texas. There's that whole Fast and Furious fucking debacle during the Obama administration where they put GPS tracers in guns and they didn't fucking work because they were trying to hunt down drug cartels and smugglers.
Right.
But yeah, that happens a lot because there's one, if I remember correctly, there's one gun store in Mexico, and it's in Mexico City, and it's the only place in Mexico you can buy a gun.
What?
If I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to look it up again. Don't quote me. We're not fact checking live.
No. Yeah. We're
But
not.
I was reading into some of that shit, and I'm pretty sure that's like I think they have pretty tight gun laws down there. But
Yeah. Yeah.
these cartels all have tons of guns, and a lot of them come through Texas, and some other places up through from South America and everywhere else. I mean, they have trillions of dollars now. So, but yeah, guns move. Everyone talks about like, oh man, fucking like, drugs come in from Mexico. All this is like, yeah, no, we caused that problem. One, we're the man, and two, they're violent with the weapons we gave them.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, so it's a whole clusterfuck.
Terrible cycle.
Yeah,
Um, you know what I have heard about Mexico City?
what?
That it is one of the cleanest places, apparently.
I cannot comment on that.
Me neither. So let's move on. I don't know. I don't know.
Definitely wasn't in the Trump administration briefing.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm very political tonight, Tony. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it sounds. But I think it's fine. I think we need to get it out. Like sometimes we'll have episodes that are a little more severe, and other episodes will be a little more lighthearted. I think that's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Um, I had KFC today.
Did you? How do you
Yeah,
feel?
I feel like shit.
What did you order?
I had a Colonel Crispy box.
That sounds like something someone would get from KFC.
Yeah, it was really yummy.
I'm currently trying to eat better.
So what does that entail for you?
I just keep track of what I eat. I eat like right now I'm using something that keeps track of everything, like calorie counts, but I'm not a person who goes on crash diets or nothing. I'm just like, I'm just gonna eat less shitty food.
Good. I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
it's good.
telling someone, I think Jen maybe today. If you couldn't tell, I spent like the whole day with Jen and Julia, but
Yes.
uh and I was explaining how in my acupuncture program
Hmm.
there's a lot of people who are very health conscious and very nutrition conscious who their world kind of gets turned upside down when they're introduced to the Chinese medical philosophy of nutrition, which is very opposite of a lot of things that we believe are quote unquote good eating or good for us or nutritious in the West.
Oh yeah, what do they think?
So the Chinese philosophy, the Chinese medical philosophy, I should say, is that you should never eat raw vegetables or raw food, really.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think that's based on anything.
no?
No,
And why not?
because raw vegetables are awesome. I love eating raw vegetables.
So the theory is that because the vegetables are raw, they are actually harder to digest. Our body has to work harder at digesting them. By cooking them, you put them into a state that is easier on the digestive system. A big center of the philosophy of the medicine is that what we call the middle,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically everything that has to do with like our guts, our stomach. We refer to what in Chinese is called pi, which means spleen,
Mm-hmm.
and roughly these are rough translations, but that whole kind of digestive process, and everything's about taking care of that middle area because it gets mirrored in the other parts of the body. um, a lot of the time when people present with psycho-emotional issues, we can actually resolve those greatly by resolving people's digestive issues.
No shit.
Yeah, it's really true. Another thing that is very, very kind of, I shouldn't say taboo, because also a big philosophy of Chinese medicine is that like nothing's set in stone. Nothing, don't take life too seriously. Don't stress out because that's also unhealthy. Um, but Chinese medical philosophy is very against consuming cold foods.
Once again, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree.
Because
Cold pizza is amazing.
I know. Um, but it's another one of those things where, in the philosophy, we talk about the body in climate terms. So there's different parts of climactic and elemental terms, I suppose you could say. So there's these different fires in the body, and the process of digestion needs heat, this kind of metaphorical heat, in order to properly function. So a lot of herbal remedies that are used for what we call harmonizing the middle are herbs that have a hot or warming quality to them, as a way to kind of break up what we call stagnation in the middle, and it helps harmonize that. So they say there's actually one Chinese medical doctor who really genuinely believes that part of the obesity issue in America is our obsession with ice cold drinks and ice cream and all these cold things that are causing the digestive process of our middle area to kind of stagnate.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree.
And again, because
Because cold pizza is fucking awesome. No, I mean there's a multitude of reasons going into it that are backed by the fact that we consume more salt than we used to. We consume more processed food than we used to. The way we eat, the amount we eat, the portions we eat, when we
yeah,
eat. So that science goes into that and backed it. But also maybe it's just because we like cold drinks.
I mean, yeah, it's all that too. So there's a concept called phlegm in TCM, or Chinese medicine, East Asian medicine.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a, we won't go into it because this isn't a podcast about Chinese medical theory, but
Are you sure? It started to feel like one.
it's kind of, it is simultaneously the stuff that we cough up and also the stuff that kind of comes out of our nose when we sneeze, but it's also kind of like adipose tissue and bone spurs and like any of these semi-solid to solid obstructions in the body. And one of those things that, from a Chinese medical standpoint, that attributes to the obesity issue is phlegm. A lot of the time, overweightness, not just someone being constitutionally large, but genuine overweightness or obesity is seen to be caused by at root by phlegm. And if you look at the diet, phlegm producing foods are a lot of things like dairy products, and heavy foods, some breads even, though that's, I think, up for debate. I think depending on what kind of bread you're eating is that, but all these, all those the processed foods like the potato chips and all those kind of gas station foods that you can get, and obviously the things that fast food is fried in and stuff. So that is another big problem. So this same medical doctor, I believe it was Dr. Wang Juyi, who is an amazing man. he was saying it's the kind of syndrome, if you will. He was saying like the reason why fast food is so bad for you is because you get all of this phlegm producing food and then you wash it down with ice cold soda that is loaded with sugar, and it just completely disrupts the harmony of the middle.
I dig it.
You are several hundred miles away from you, and I can smell the fact that you don't care.
Oh no! I lost you at. Well, this is an Eastern medicine theory podcast, and then you went on for 10 more minutes talking about Eastern medicine theory.
I'm passionate about it. You get to talk about music all the time.
I guess you're right. I guess it's the same thing.
It is.
I was just thinking back when you asked me questions about music. Anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to different topics. I lost that thread like 15 miles back. Sorry.
That's fine.
How soon do you have to or how long do you have to wait to message someone on Tinder?
What do you mean? Like
you match.
Yeah.
And then what do you do?
I message them immediately.
That doesn't feel desperate?
No, I don't fucking care.
Do you have an opening line?
No, I just, hey, what's up? Sometimes I get really into an internal debate about whether to add or not add a smiley face or an exclamation point.
What, how many Y's do you put?
How many Y's? It depends on how, if I want to hook up with that person or not.
Because 3 Y's,
Oh, dude, I mean, I'll put in 7 Y's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to put in a lot of Y's to come off flirtatious or a little more flamboyant. Other people are a little more severe, so I just do 1 Y. Period. Smiley face is a very flirtatious thing to me, so sometimes I like to pepper that on there with if a guy's really cute, then I'll be like, hey, smiley face.
The thing in my high school was always a 1 Y is normal, 2 Y's is a typo, 3 Y's is DTF.
Same.
That's basically what it was. That's what they said.
Yeah. I'm sure Y's. The ancient wisdom of 14-year-old boys. I love it.
I want to say we were 15 and there was the girls telling us that. It's one of those just matter-of-fact conversations.
I love it.
Yeah. So maybe I should actually start messaging people on Tinder and not waiting 2 months.
Yeah, don't fucking do that. If you want to wait a day, fine. But I don't know. I don't understand. It's so I hate the internet. I hate virtual reality. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's we have these things, we have these virtual communities in place, literally built on the premise of getting people to get together romantically or otherwise, and people still get in their own way of doing it. And I don't even mean people like you who just don't message. I mean people who just will completely ignore someone who's a genuinely good and maybe even attractive person who can hold a good conversation, and it's just nothing will come of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess there's something to be said for a spark.
Sure, but how can you get that spark if you don't?
If you don't if you don't talk to them, I don't know. I always approach this. I'm genuinely surprised if anyone ever wants to talk to me or hang out with me or go out with me or do anything else. I'm so amazed that happens still. So the idea that people don't do that is just I expect it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just oh, I matched with someone on Tinder. That's fucking weird.
And okay, and this is an important question, and we don't have to go into too much detail if you don't want. Is that a self-esteem thing, or is it because you've been preconditioned by Tinder or other apps being just a place where people are not really into talking to other people?
I don't really use Tinder a lot, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
I use it kind of, but
yeah, kind of.
I have a Tinder, right?
Okay.
But normally, what I like to do is set the age range to 35 to 55,
okay,
and just do a 5 mile radius and just see what my mom's friends are up to.
Oh yeah, is that your kink?
No, I don't try to get with them or nothing. I'm just like, oh shit, my old teacher's on here. That kind of shit. I use it kind of like National Geographic.
Oh yeah,
Like a really localized National Geographic. Like
right.
it's telling me what's going on in the world. Drew pictures.
Okay. I mean, I think that's fine if you want to do that.
You don't seem to think that's fine.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'm still hung up on I like to see what my mom's friends are up to.
Well, that was a joke, Tony. I hope you
I
understand that.
I'm still God, thanks for explaining that one, Brendan.
Yeah, well, Tony, I have to because every time I tell a joke, you try to kill it because you don't get them.
All right, we're moving on. I don't know. I think that's a fine thing to do. I think it can be fun. I used to love just seeing like I don't know, other people that I know or like other boys
Yeah,
that like were from my area. Like
exactly. Kids, you know, like I did that too. Like
yeah.
bumping into people from high school.
Um because it's kind of funny to see how like your peers choose to represent themselves on social media.
Yeah. What's your bio on Tinder?
It's I don't use Tinder anymore because I don't have time, but it
Awesome.
was something really annoying that was like I always just talk about like what I do and what I'm interested in. So it was something like, nature lover, fucking art student, free love, lick my butthole. I don't know. Like I'm not the kind of person who's like I'm not funny, so I can't put like a funny thing. And I don't
Even
like
if you are funny, the idea of writing something funny there just is so fucking generic and bullshit anyway.
yeah,
Because it has to be like mass appeal,
right.
and I don't know.
On Grinder, it just says future Chinese medical doctor with a bunch of like,
Are you actually going for your doctorate?
oh fuck yes.
Wow, that's super impressive.
I mean, the program I'm in right now is just masters, but I
Yeah,
fully intend to pursue my doctorate
dope.
because, as you like to point out, I'm elitist.
You are. You're super elitist, and you don't realize it, which makes you more elitist.
Of course, right?
You're bougie as fuck, Tony. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
I'm
know that.
so bougie.
You just called yourself booby, so
What?
you can't. You said I'm so booby.
I
You can't
maybe.
even pronounce bougie right. That's you. How bougie you are, man.
All right. So what does your Tinder say? I can only imagine how you
Yes, let's have a couple
fucking.
guesses. Guess what I say on Tinder.
I can woodwork you the world's best dildo.
False.
Working class hero down from your neighborhood.
That's a song. No.
Um, I got rough hands, but know how to use them.
Yeah, I forgot that you weren't funny. So I should have really. Hmm.
That was mean.
I'm sorry, I hurt your feelings.
Yeah, thank you.
You should try to be funnier. Um.
Wow.
Let me look. Let me look. Um. Mine says, really just want to talk about The Office, NPR, and whichever band I'm currently into. Then there's like a fucking big space, and it says, if I super liked you, it was definitely an accident.
I fucking hate you.
Why?
That is the douchiest fucking profile I've ever heard.
But it's accurate.
Unfortunately, you're correct.
Yeah, that's all I want to talk about. And then someone matches with me, and I'm like, so which one do you want to talk about? And they're just like, what? I'm like, I wasn't lying. No, this is all I want to talk about. I don't give a shit. No, I don't care about your dog. No,
Oh, I care about the dog.
I don't care if you care about the dog, Tony. This is about me right now.
Okay.
Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah. No, it's fucking Well, you know what it is. I really struggled coming up with something to put there because it's like you can try to be funny, but it's really hard to get jokes to land in that scenario.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because
So
people are
hard.
gonna think like you're serious, or they're gonna think you're an idiot,
Yeah.
or they won't get it or something. So just be honest, I do actually really like The Office. I do actually really like NPR, and I
Do you
do like the
really
band I can listen to.
do you really like The Office?
Oh, I've been watching The Office like 3 times a year since like high school. Why? What? You don't have to like The Office, Tony.
No, no, no. I know I don't have to. I just like I don't understand people's fucking obsession with it.
Okay.
Because it's no, hold on. I just need to say, because it's
Okay.
never just a I like The Office. Do you like it? It's like people are like, I love The Office.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's like fucking gold. Like they love it.
Yeah. No, I get that. Well, one, my friend he said, one of my friends, Mike, friend of the show, Mike from Canada, Canadian Mike
From Lindsay.
from Lindsay, Ontario. Um,
We just gave away his position.
it's Lindsay, Ontario. No one cares.
That's true.
Um, he said I think I described it as like I use it as some weird, disturbing fucking security blanket. Whenever I'm sad, I just crawl up into the office where I know everything's gonna be all right.
I just got a
But
very vulnerable image of you.
yeah, that was all of college. Anyway, so no, because you know what it is. It's like one like they make the characters super relatable, and anyone who's had a job has had to work with someone who's like one of the side characters on The Office.
Uh-huh.
Or your boss will do something stupid, and then you'll see Michael Scott do something stupid. Like I can relate to that. I
Uh-huh.
understand. And Jim and Pam are funny enough and quirky enough that you like them, but also bland enough that you can relate to them.
Right.
Um, but also it's really well written. It's some of it's smart, some of the jokes are deep, and they get credit for it. Not all of them. I'm not saying it's like the most brilliant show ever written or anything, but and if you can relate to it and you like it, you watch it. But what happens is people who like The Office found other people who like The Office, and now they talk about The Office, and it became like a huge fucking thing.
But like I remember literally being in middle school, like in like 8th grade or maybe early high school, like freshman year, and people talking about The Office. Ain't no bitch who is 13 or 14 years old has worked in an office to be able to relate to that.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about. That show was still on the air back then, so maybe that's why.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like what you like. I'm sure it's funny.
Oh, it is. It's really funny. Yeah, no, it's like, but I think I use it the same way a lot of people sit there. Like when you don't know what to watch, you put on The Office,
Okay, that's fair. I can
and then what
understand.
happens is, since you do that, you see it a bunch of times, right? So
Right.
then I remember I was hanging out with a chick once, and she had it on, and I could literally I could do the episode line for line, and it's not because I sat there and tried to learn the episode. It's because I would always like whenever I was working on something in class, I need something on, I put on The Office
Right.
because I've seen it, if I'd seen it a million times, right? It doesn't matter. I know what the joke's gonna be,
Right.
but I'm still gonna enjoy it. I'm still gonna remember it and still think it's funny. So then you end up like really enjoying it. But I do notice lately that The Office is like a meme now.
Yes, it's completely a meme.
It is. I like meme like I said, like everyone else probably, you watch on Netflix. But like Netflix on Facebook shared a a post that says, "Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I guess I'm just gonna watch The Office for the 100th time." And that's when I realized it was dead, and I hate this culture we live in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that someone else
Also,
wants.
that reminds me of something that I really want to talk about. Steve Carell, who played Michael Scott in The Office, and was very funny, but also he's a movie star and everything. He said he came out recently in an interview, or at least I saw a picture. I shouldn't say that. I didn't source it. I didn't fucking Snopes it, but apparently he said, I don't think The Office would work in like today's climate. What? It's a
Why?
fucking comedy, you fucking asshole. I hate people who say that. People say that all the time. Oh, you couldn't make that today. Oh, you couldn't do that today. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe like I don't know, Birth of a Nation, the famous KKK film, probably couldn't be made today. Or no, it would just be released on some weird fucking Stormfront streaming service.
Right.
But like The Office didn't take place that long ago. Like that's not like a really old show. Oh, we
Yeah.
couldn't make it in today's climate. Why not?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know,
that
honestly.
shows it's not famous for being an edgy show. There is an episode where like Michael Scott's lead character says fag a lot,
Uh-huh.
but that's him coming to terms with like South Park did the same kind of bit. A bunch of other shows did the same bit. Is him being stupid and thinking like not associating as a gay slayer, and him like
Right.
realizing he's an asshole, which doesn't make that an okay thing to do, but the way they deliver it, it's so clearly that he's an idiot. Like when we were talking about it in the episode, like you don't sit there and go, "Oh, I like what he's saying." No, you're actively watching a grown man realize, "Oh, I'm offending people,"
Okay, yeah.
which is actually it was like pretty well written considering.
Okay.
There's some other jokes that are kind of off color, but people make off color jokes, and I just hate this idea that everyone has that like, "Oh, the world's just getting worse and we can't make anything more. Things can't be funny anymore because we don't do this and we don't do that." It's like, get the fuck over yourselves.
Yeah, no, I'm totally with you on that.
Because some of it's too. Some of it's like, oh, like Blazing Saddles is a really funny movie. Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to think. What is it?
Okay. It was I think late '70s, early '80s probably was made. It's a
Uh-huh.
parody of westerns, but what happens is there's an evil coal baron or cattle baron or some shit.
Yeah.
Let's take over this town, and they need a new sheriff, so he sends a black guy.
Uh-huh.
And of course, it's an old west town. They're all super racist and like it's a funny fucking movie, and it's a lot of fucking like not just like racial based humor, but there's other stuff. There's like ridiculous scenes with a toll booth in the middle of the desert for all the horses and everything to get through, and how they're stalling people. There's some great scenes in that movie that are really funny. People always go, "Oh, you couldn't make that movie today. You couldn't make that movie today." Well, no, people in the old west were racist.
Yeah.
That's not like a thing. Like, oh man, no, fucking, you probably could make that movie today. It would be with a little more context, probably, but even then, no, you could still make that movie today.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably like the context would probably just change, you know?
Slightly, slightly. And another thing too people forget is that they're like, oh, you don't make jokes like they did in Blazing Saddles. Like, yeah, because Blazing Saddles already did it
Right. Yeah.
40 years ago.
Right.
Maybe sometimes the way we don't make entertainment the way we used to is because we already made that entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I fucking that's a bullshit line that's the same as like kids these days. That's that same kind of
Oh,
bullshit. Or they don't make them like they used to. And
oh my
some of that's
god.
true, but also choke on it, man.
No,
Choke on
really.
it.
Um, Going back to Steve Carell for 1 second, did I ever tell you that I taught his daughter how to knit?
He 100% didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
If you could get Steve Carell to be on our podcast, that would be. No, I'm just kidding. I'm still holding out hope for Kanye. Kanye, come on and talk with us about Eastern medicine, man, and
Yeah,
the Black Panthers in Chicago.
he would love that. I don't know,
I
actually. He
assume so. I've
probably
never met Kanye West, but I really look forward to him being on our podcast. I hope you realize I'm like launching a campaign. Kanye West is going to be on our podcast.
I hope so. Brendan, we're getting to the end of our episode for the evening.
Are we?
Yeah,
Holy
we are.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, before we do our kind of, I don't know if you have any last things you want to bring up.
No, I got through all of it.
Okay. I do want to say for the people who don't listen to us that if you're finding us on YouTube, you can also find us on SoundCloud by just putting into the search bar there Double Act Podcast, and you will find our little black and white logo and our whole anthology, if you will, of our previous episodes and all future episodes to come.
And you can also go and check us out at on Facebook at Double Act. Shoot us a message, hit us up, post something.
And if you're a person who doesn't listen to us and you want to be heard by us, if you want us to not listen to you, shoot us a message on that Facebook page. And I believe, Brendan, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a Twitter account.
I don't use Twitter, so I think you probably set up a Twitter account.
I think that's true. So we'll probably get that.
Is really good because that's how we're going to communicate with Kanye West.
Of course, yeah. So anyway, thanks for listening to us.
Yeah, or not listening to us.
or not listening to us. And always remember,
Don't panic.
bye.